Hello everyone, welcome on in. This is the exhibition match between 228's Blackwatch and EMP. Exhibition match of the Summer Grand Prix. My name is Nita Pickle. I will be your caster tonight. I am joined with Oblivion Shadow Knight, who is the creator and admin and head judge of the Summer Grand Prix. How you doing tonight, Oblivion?
Hey, Pickle.
Hey, buddy. All right, so Summer Grand Prix. Let's go over the rules here real quick.
Okay, so the key difference here is that the map in each round will be random. So once each team is readied up, there's a pool of 3 maps. The judge, tonight that will be me, will randomly select one of the 3 maps with a random number generator and immediately drop them into that map.
So the matches, we're doing 3 matches tonight. It is a 6v6 tournament.
Yep, 6v6, 360 tons for all the drops. 3 matches, it's a best of 3, of course. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty entertaining, actually. Random maps, 10-ton penalty for duplicates are some of the key differences between things that have been seen in the near past. Near past? Do people say that? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But that's okay. But yeah, so each drop will be 15 minutes, 6v6. Each team will have 5 minutes to prepare for each drop in a series before the map selection. And then, yes, as Oblivion said, the maps will be selected at random. Now, they do show up from a random kind of pool of maps, correct? You have pre-selected a few maps, and then whichever one that is random is the one that is going to be selected, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay, for example, if we have drop 3, then it'll be Forest Colony Snow Classic, Frozen City Night Classic, or Hibernal Rift. And we'll randomly pick between one of those maps, and the key thing here is that these pools often have minor similarities between the maps. They're not wildly different. Hibernal, Old Forest, Old Frozen. They're all a little on the small side, and they're all a little quick and dirty. Hibernal Rift, just Canyon Network with more ways to get around. So we'll probably see it be just a little brawlier, a little more center focused than the normal Ring Around the Rosie from Canyon Network. I think that'll be really fun to watch. It's a super new map. I don't think we haven't seen it competitively at all yet, actually.
That is true. So there should be a little bit of should be a lot of interesting gameplay going on. Since we are only doing 3 drops, yeah, you mentioned Hibernal Rift. There was a very late change to the rules. Let's talk a little bit about that since we have a few more minutes left. So what was your decision to change I think it was a map selection rules?
Yeah, it was actually to include Hibernal Rift.
Oh, okay.
When we first developed the rules, we didn't have Hibernal Rift, and we know that we wanted to do we felt like any other map we would have selected would have been far too similar to the 2 classic maps we picked, or not similar enough to the 2 classic maps. So we just landed on Frozen City since we already had a Frozen City, and then we changed Forest Colony to Forest Colony Snow. And it was fine, but when it came to testing the rules, we found that New Frozen is this really wide, spacious map that can oftentimes descend into some boring strategies to cast and to watch. And we really care about people being entertained when we watch this tournament, and the release of Hibernal Rift was perfect, absolutely perfect, to slot in. And it's a brand new map. No one's seen it competitively yet, so it'll be this really new, fresh map, and we'll see maybe some strategies we haven't seen played before.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm getting some pings here in Discord. So we're just waiting for the teams to show up in the private lobby. This is kind of an impromptu thing. I don't have a lot of little fancy overlays and graphics set up for this particular stream. So we've just got what you see here. I don't have a bracket for Blackwatch and for EMP because one has not been made, which is why you currently see nothing. And I do apologize for that. But
it's a one-off fight. I mean, a bracket would just be their two names linked together with a loop.
Yeah, exactly. So not much you can do involving
And hey,
that.
man, I'm a big fan of loops personally. I just felt they weren't necessary for the time being.
And we do have a bracket up there, so you can see the teams that are currently competing, Blackwatch and EMP. And again, this is a exhibition match to help bring some exposure and some, just some exposure.
It's a preview to the GP.
Yeah, the preview to the Summer Grand Prix. That's going to be going on tomorrow as well, starting at I think 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m.
9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern's when the match is starting, so the stream will probably start up about 10 minutes before that. And the quality level will be a little bit better, so don't worry.
So for 6v6s versus like 8v8s or even the public queue 12v12s, what do you think the differences are, Pickle?
Difference between 12v12 and 8v8?
In 6v... No, difference between 8s, 12s, and 6s.
8, 12s, and 6s? Well, in terms of 6v6 and 8v8, when compared to something, I guess, similar to quick play with 12v12, you obviously have a lot less mechs on the field. So 6v6, even 4v4 is even more crucial. But 6v6, every single mech matters. Now, of course, 8v8 and 12v12, every mech matters as well. But when you get into the lower numbers there, 6v6, every single mech really matters. Every little decision made by every single person on each team matters a lot more than, say, for example, 8v8 and 12v12, because you have less mechs on the field to move to positions, to reposition if something happens. And I think that a lot more beginning structure needs to be organized. Like a lot of a lot of planning needs to be done before the match starts, compared to, say, for example, if there was a competitive 12v12 situation, you'd have a lot more tonnage on the table. So for like our tournament, for example, it's limited at 355 tons, correct? Well, 360.
360.
360. So you're limited in the amount of tonnage that you can bring. Obviously, 8v8 and 12v12, you'll be able to have more tonnage, so you have more mechs to work with. 8v8, you can kind of do 2-2 and 2 situation in terms of weight classes, and I think that's fairly strong. 6v6, you can't necessarily do that, especially with a weight restriction. And again, as I said, every single mech is much more crucial because you have less mechs on the field. So it kind of adds... It definitely requires more pre-planning before the match starts. And I think it requires a little bit more mid-match planning and mid-match playing. You need to play a little bit smarter. You need to play... I don't want to say like a little bit safer, but you need to really pay attention to your decisions involving what you do.
Safer's pretty close. Yeah, I agree. We are on a 5-minute delay here, correct?
Yes, we are on a 5-minute delay, so...
Excellent.
Everything
on stream, could you please Google random number generator and have Google generate us a number between 1 and 3?
Random Google number generator, sure.
Random Google number close. Google the words random number generator.
And that's going to be that's going to decide what the map is between 1 and 3. You said? Sorry,
correct. Correct.
Between
1 will be Canyon Network, 2 will be Mining Collective, 3 will be Viridian Bog.
All right, let me know when you're ready, and I'll click on the generate button.
We're gonna wait for Matt to reconnect because currently our countdown timer is paused.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that the stream will not show what map it is before we drop the actual match.
Nope.
Okay, Matt
Nothing
is back,
will be
so
shown.
All right, Matt is back. So, whenever you're ready, Pickle.
Yep,
I
I'm
can
ready.
get you a drum roll if you need one.
I don't think I need a drum roll.
Okay, dang.
But I mean,
All right, I had drumsticks
I would
and everything.
appreciate. Okay, well, if you have drumsticks, then yeah, I would
No,
appreciate a
you
good
already
drum roll.
ruined it. Just roll the number.
Fine, I'll roll the number between 1 and 3. The answer is 1.
1. All right,
1.
looks like it'll be Canyon Network.
Oh boy, Canyon Network, my favorite. It's not my favorite. Mining's actually my favorite. But I digress.
Out of those 3, I'm actually kind of a little evil. I would like to see Viridian Bog just because no one ever wants to play it in comp.
That is true. I wouldn't mind seeing Viridian Bog. Matt and I were practicing on Thursday. No, sorry. Wednesday or Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Matt and I were practicing some casting, and we got a few matches on Viridian Bog. And it was really interesting to see some competitive play from the third-person perspective on that map. I liked what I saw there. I hope we maybe get some Bog tonight. I think that'd be pretty cool. Alright, so looks like both teams are readied up.
Let's confirm.
Alright, let's confirm. Make sure everyone's ready to go.
All right, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and launch the match, Pickle. Oh, nope. Ha! I almost forgot. JK, I didn't almost forget to switch to Canyon. I still had the drop down open. Canyon Network. Here we go.
Alright, let's do this. Round 1 of the exhibition game between Blackwatch and EMP.
So, I'd like to point out that competitively, all 12 of these people have probably played Canyon Network more than any other map. Hands down. At least most of both of these teams. Blackwatch and EMP, 2 finalists from I think the 2017 WC, was it?
Yes.
The one where it was all Canyon Network. So these teams have pounded out some super refined strategies and like reflexes that come to playing on this map in particular. So we should see some nuts level plays.
Alright. So it looks like we have to wait here for a minute. Matt's computer is having a bit of a problem, so I'm not gonna show any mechs or anything yet.
Awkward question here, Pickle. How do I use all chat in Spectate?
I don't know if you can.
Definitely can.
I don't know if it's possible. I've never tried. So once again, just to reminder, the stream is on a 5-minute delay. We're just waiting on. Oh yeah, I can't open all chat.
Yeah.
What am I to do? I guess we will wait until. Looks like Matt may have reconnected. Oh, there we go. You had to wait for the match to start. Technical issues with him tonight for some reason. Panic says.
Is Matt back?
I don't think so. Nobody's moving, so I don't think he's reconnected yet.
Oh, I had to wait for the match start to use all chat.
Yeah.
But the players are able to use all chat before the match starts, so get wrecked, spectator. Oh my god. A little banter here in all chat.
Yeah, we got some banter going on. Referee Oblivion says we will wait for Matt. McGoat says it's like that Brad Paisley song, "Waiting on a Woman."
So yeah, hopefully we get to see some drop 3 Hibernal Rifts so we can really note the differences between this map and Hibernal. They are more different than what people think. Okay.
Alright, so it looks like Matt's back. Go at 1300. So now that he's back, we can talk about mechs. So, beginning of round 1. Blackwatch, you got Dom in a Huntsman, Panic in a Vulcan, Defunct, Vapor Eagle, Dom in a Huntsman. What does EMP bring?
EMP has an Annihilator from Bowser and a Cyclops Sleipnir from Chimeras. They're 2 assault mechs. That Sleipnir is something that should be a very competitive mech one now that hero mechs are legal. Then we have a Summoner F from Reckless and a Huntsman A from McGoat. I'm going to assume that both of those mechs are Pop-Tarts, but let's take a look at McGoat and make sure, shall we?
So we've got a small movement from EMP moving over to the Epsilon area. McGoat
yes, that is a Pop-Tart from McGoat.
Yes, McGoat did take a PPC from one of Blackwatch's pilots from Theta. There's a bit of long-range trading between the 2 teams here. Reckless.
Also like to point out double hero mech between the EMP light mechs here. The Cypher is an interesting choice because it has no quirks. That's the one that's split evenly between ballistics and energy, is it not?
Reckless is taking a little bit of damage here. Trading out. Both teams just taking trades right now. Looks like EMP is making preparations for a bit of a push.
Got Matt way. Oh, actually, it looks like Matt actually disconnected again.
Krisman down to 41% down there in the night gear. Dom takes out Muddy Rant. Selith takes out Krisman. Selith is on Defunct's back. I'm not sure if Defunct will be able to get out of the situation here.
I'm not sure if it'll actually matter here. Defunct will get dragged down, but both teams are getting pretty beaten up.
Reckless is down to 30% in his Summoner with dual PPCs.
Bowser Bowser goes down into the trench.
Attacked by 2 mechs here, Annihilator. Adam goes down.
Archon goes down, yeah.
McGoat in the PPC Huntsman, taking a shot at Panic Button.
Reckless is just a scrape away from death.
So it's not looking very good for 228 right now. Bowser does take out Dom and also Defunct and Panic Button. Oh, no, sorry, Panic took out someone. I missed who that was, my apologies. Reckless, he took out Reckless.
That was a very dirty fight. We don't usually see like fights down in little killbox pits like that on Canyon Network.
That was surprisingly fast considering what we've seen from these 2 teams previously. I expected a lot longer of a match here. We've got a 1v1 situation going on here between Panic and Selith.
Yeah, keep in mind we're 2 to 4 here, and it was a 5v6.
And Selith does take out Panic. So the last mech on Blackwatch's team is actually Matt, although it does look like Matt actually disconnected again.
Matt disconnected pretty early there.
His poor little Blackjack here is about to see a real bad time. So let's take a look at some damage numbers here on EMP's side. Bowser not taking a lot of damage there in the Annihilator at 75%.
I mean, that's a lot of damage to deal to Annihilator, so to take a quarter of it. Those things are beefy.
Selith down to 39 in that Piranha.
Yeah, that Piranha got scraped up. I mean, that happens to those Piranhas, dude. They're made out of rice paper, hopes, dreams, and elbow grease. So
we'll go down to 82% in the Huntsman, not taking a lot of damage either, and Chimera in the Cyclops.
Matt for the timely reconnect.
He's trying here. He's trying to take on Bowser here, and he's doing a decent job. But he just doesn't have
that brawling blackjack. That's the AC-20 medium blackjack. That would have been really helpful in that fight. That actually might have closed the gap a little bit. We might have seen we might have seen a very close game here rather than a win.
Magoat decides he wants to fire at Bowser here. There are no rules for team damage, so they're having at it. They're having at it.
And McGoat and Chimera get the moral loss here, not able to kill Bowser. Dang.
The moral loss.
It's a moral loss. They call that minor defeats.
I do like the
could not kill Bowser in the
on
end.
his mech. So let's see damage numbers here on both teams. Bowser and that Annihilator doing 698, and Chimera and that Cyclops at 653. Over on Blackwatch's side, highest damage is actually Archon Adam Steiner there in the Mad Cat Bravo with 380. Fairly even damage numbers.
Yeah,
I think the
side. Key thing here is that EMP's assault mechs were just a little chunkier, so when it came time to just beat the crap out of each other, that squishy night gear just like didn't stand up to like an Annihilator or a Cyclops could.
Do you remember seeing what the build was on that night gear there?
I believe the night gear was DACA.
Okay, so it was more of a longer range mech. And you're right on the fact that it doesn't have that much armor compared to the likes of the Annihilator and the Cyclops. Personally, I feel it probably would have... I don't know, it felt kind of strange. It felt like Blackwatch kind of got themselves into a sticky situation. It's almost as if they may or may not have pushed a little bit too far. Let me get the map strat up here. It looked like they may have pushed a little too far because both teams were kind of like they were slowly pushing in for like I wanted to say a mid-trade engagement, but they actually ended up getting into a kind of brawl situation. EMP was fairly aggressive in there, and they eventually just pushed right in on Blackwatch, and it felt like Blackwatch was not ready to handle such a situation. So give me just a minute here
we got
to get
5 minutes on the timer here.
We do. I'm just getting a map strat up here. So the map that's, by the way, that last match was not on Grim Plexus. That last map was on Canyon Network, and we're gonna see Canyon Network here in just a minute because I am using computers to do things. All right, here we go. All right, so we have a map strat here. I will link it to you, Oblivion. I think you linked me one, but I'm actually using a different map strat.
I did not, actually.
Oh, okay. I will give you a map strat. Give me 1 second.
I get very sad when I go too long without map strats.
Oh, man. I also get kind of sad when I don't have map strats.
Mm-hmm.
But not to fear, because Pickle is here. And unfortunately, I don't have Discord on my streaming computer, so I have to do this really rudimentary, sad way. All right, there we go. Got it. Copy paste it to you. There you go. Apologies on that taking so long, but now we have a map strat. So let's go over the strat here of what happened. So
what happened was both teams charged each other and created a get dunked zone right there.
That is more or less what happened. EMP starting on Team 2 side, Blackwatch starting on Team 1 side. Both teams moving kind of down. Oops.
That is the ping tool, Pickle.
That is indeed the ping tool. I don't use this tool too much.
EMP, being the red team, kind of did one of these with their assault mechs. They kind of took control of that high ground, and Blackwatch just charged right in there. They got Blackwatch kind of did one of these.
And
they
again,
had some mechs go down this way.
I don't feel that Blackwatch had the deck to handle that sort of situation. They kind of pushed themselves too far when I think their deck was meant to be a little bit closer to the mid to long range trade engagement, because like they had that night gear, they had that Mad Cat Bravo with its DACA, so they did have panic there in the Vulcan, And the Vulcan's a very versatile medium pulse laser mech, but it's
Keep in mind, they were down a mech for this engagement. They were down
That's
a
true.
brawling medium mech, and medium mechs can really kind of control the tiers of combat. Like, they can control where Blackwatch's front line and back line were, because they can get up close quickly and establish a in-your-face front line. So with having less of that power, I think the Mad Cat and the Night Gear might have been put in a nasty situation.
That's true. Now, one thing that I'm not too sure about was Blackwatch's decision to actually put that Night Gear and the Mad Cat Bravo down inside the trench. May or may not have been the best of decisions. I think if they had posted up closer to the ridge lines here, they may have had a little bit more luck in terms of damage. Now, they were trading fairly effectively at the start. One of EMP's huntsmen took some damage trying to cross, I believe it was this bridge here, up near the Charlie 4 area. But as I said, EMP did a really good job of just kind of wrapping the corner, controlling their trades, controlling when they expose themselves. And
If I may interject here, Pickle, we do need you to roll the new map for us on stream.
Okay,
If you could.
I will do that. So between 1 and 3 again?
Between 1 and 3.
All right, let's go. 1 and 3. And we've got 2. So what map is it?
2 is Tourmaline Desert.
Tourmaline Desert, oh boy.
What is happening?
We're
We're like, look at all these random maps we'll be playing, then Canyon, Tourmaline.
What is this, 2017? Is this a throwback? Worlds 2017? I remember those days. So it looks like EMP is ready. We're still waiting on Blackwatch to finalize some mech decisions. Looks like one of their pilots is actually having some connection issues. So we're just waiting on that. And for those of you joining us recently, welcome. This is the exhibition game of the 228th hosted Summer Grand Prix 6v6 tournament, being hosted by myself, Nita Pickle, and Oblivion SK. Oblivion has done most of the groundwork, organizing and structuring the rules.
Both
and
teams
the
are ready?
decks.
Whenever you're ready, Pickle.
I am ready to go.
Alright. What did I say? Tourmaline Desert.
You
I
said
knew what I
Tourmaline
said.
Desert.
I knew what I said.
All right. So, what do you expect, or what do you think might be seen here today on Tourmaline?
You know, it's interesting. Both teams had access to these rules, and the drop 2 buckets, Tourmaline, Ruby, Grim, they're all pretty wide open maps. So I think we could see something a little tradier here. We might see that Annihilator come back, but with like maybe AC2s this time. We could see that Sleipnir being traded out for something like a Mad Cat with like Gauss, ER large, or something of a similar effect like a Supernova. I think the Pop-Tarts will probably be retained. That was an interesting play from EMP to bring the Pop-Tarts on that drop 1. But maybe something mid-rangey from Blackwatch.
All right, dropships are coming in. Let's see what we've got.
Looks like Blackwatch retained almost their same deck from last drop, actually, or is their same deck from last drop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
A little more mid-rangey. I think this will be really effective on Tourmaline Desert with the DACA and Oh, it's not PPCs from that blackjack, is it? I think it would be on this map. Let's take a peek. It is ER PPCs from that blackjack. That may be their only change here.
As long as 228 keeps their range, they should be okay. Jiffy in the Vulcan now, taking Panic's spot from last time. Panic is in that blackjack. EMP, we got Bowser in the Direwolf, the Magician in a Wolfhound, Seleth once again in that Piranha, Reckless in a Vapor Eagle, Magoat in a Hellbringer, and Chimera in a
Virago,
Warhawk.
which is notable. That Virago has some unique quirks to it, if I believe it has a little similar to the Hellbringer F, if I'm not mistaken, with a little bit of extra range, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I think that makes it ideal for ER large, which it looks like what Magoat is using it for here. I think most players in public, you call that the crow's nest there, that little spire. It's easy to get up to, and he's playing extreme range. It looks like that's what EMP's doing completely here, actually. They got this PPC Warhawk, they got the ER large Virago, they got
the long-range Direwolf with Daka.
an Invasion Direwolf. Very sexy. Original paint.
Yes. He's got that EMP logo up there on the nose. I like that. Representing
Take that
his
baby
team.
to a Barrett Jackson auction, make a fortune.
So we've got Adam making a small move over here on the left-hand side, seeing what he can see. Both teams a little passive right now. Trying to set up, looks like they're mostly set up.
Blackwatch looks like they're eager to spread their lines, but their more mobile mechs are just like looking for an angle to work on. EMP. EMP's definitely not making it easy. Bowser advancing here towards the domination point, actually. Out into the open, we could see a push here pretty quick.
So yeah, there's a small movement towards the satellite here by EMP.
Blackwatch is reacting. A panic button and that blackjack is reeling in towards what I think most people in public view say is castle, right?
We've got
That
Magician
little...
making a small move on the left-hand side and that Wolfhound trying to get some sort of a flank going. Archon Adam Stein is on that right side as well.
Definitely going to find himself in some easy 2v1s if he's not careful here. Seleth coming up behind the back in that Cypher. He could get some booty here, Pickle.
That he can. Magician looks like he was trying to get some booty on Jiffy there. Chimera is being fairly aggressive in that Warhawk there, bringing Archon Adam Steiner down to 78%. Some strikes go out.
Archon's backing off. It looks like Blackwatch is going to look
a push here in his Piranha, trying to get in behind them.
Looks like he got made though. He took some Daka fire. Blackwatch will be ready for him. Magician hot on his tail.
Dom far up in the pillar with his ATMs. Seleth taking on Adam here. Bowser trying to get some shots in. Adam's down to 60, 59%. Adam's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, that Cypher's just diving him.
Dom just took out Chimera with those strong ATMs. Bowser
I didn't even
down
see
to
the shot.
79%.
Oh, Dom is up
Seleth
on the
does
cheated his way out of that
Archon
Spire.
Adam Steiner, but Defunct down to 33% of that Vapor Eagle.
It's not looking good for Defunct's Vapor Eagle. Dom and that ATM Huntsman though, with that high ground, that's a very interesting spot to get into.
Now on Defunct, probably going to take Defunct out here. Self-destruction by Defunct.
Tap away from death. This is neck and neck
next
here.
Target is Jiffy. Panic Button takes out Reckless. Jiffy
Panic
goes
Button put
down,
himself in a very,
Seleth.
very good position for
Dom's
that push
still
and that
up
blackjack.
On that strong position up top with those ATMs.
Unfortunately, he
Magician's
might
taking a
just
lot
not
of
be
damage.
high enough to clean up those light mechs. I think they're inside his minimum range
Chrisman
here.
does take out the Magician. But Chrisman down to 47%. Can he take out Seleth?
What happened to
Unfortunately,
McGoat?
he
Oh,
cannot.
McGoat stayed in the back in the crow's nest there with that Virago. He's at 60%. What condition is his mech in?
So here we see Magoat here in the back.
McGoat is actually in a fairly good shape. If Seleth can avoid some enemy
Button
fire
trying to
here,
make a
but Panic
trade.
Button completely fresh in that blackjack. This is going to be a nasty uphill battle for McGoat with this ER large
Now,
Virago.
if Seleth can get in behind one of those two, it's not going to be good for them. They're going to have to keep an eye on him.
Piranha to the booty late game is curtains for anybody, really.
It is not a fun time, can confirm. I'm not sure if Blackwatch knows where Seleth is right now. They're very, very focused on Magoat there and that Hellbringer. Seleth just waiting here, not making a move, waiting for his opportunity to strike.
Seleth is very notorious for his patience and his ability to set traps.
Panic Button of Dom have now seen him.
Dom is definitely the
down
best
to
target here. The
32%.
minimum range on those ATMs
Takes down a
can make
strike.
him completely ineffective.
Blackwatch.
Oh, but
backs
Seleth
up.
getting into Dom's range. Oh, just outside of it. Looks like those ATMs had no joy.
Selith just makes it out. But
Just inside that minimum range.
Panic is now pushing the other side here.
Oh,
Selith back
Selith
to his
doesn't
hiding
see him.
spot.
Oh,
And
Panic gets the
Panic,
pick.
he gets him down.
Now I think we're probably going to see Dom clean up McGoat in this Virago here. Those ER larges may be a little dangerous. No, Panic Button's still completely fresh. I misspoke. Okay,
Panic Button is fresh, but McGoat does have quite a bit of long-range firepower. If he can aim, if he can get some lucky shots downrange, he might.
This
be able
isn't
to do some
completely
decent
out of his
damage.
hands. It's definitely an uphill battle. He's going to be clawing for every point of damage, but it's
Although
not
he is,
over yet.
He is pushing them a little bit, down to 45% there. He's going to have to watch his armor values. Getting into a bit of a pincer situation here. Panic and Dom doing a really good job pincering him.
Looks like he's
Panic's in his back.
choosing to get close to the ATM mech, which is not a bad play, but that Huntsman looks like it has a large amount of micro lasers on it,
Panic with
which
that
I
jump
don't
jet
think McGoat was
blackjack.
expecting.
Down to 30%. He still has those torsos, correct?
Oh,
he
and there he
down.
goes. Oh, a
So drop two
brilliant mech.
goes.
Another quick and dirty game.
2. I wouldn't say that was quick. I think that was a lot better planned out by both teams.
Both teams kind of danced around where the engagement was going to be, and then once they actually engaged, that's when it was quick and dirty.
Again, great job by both teams. We saw a lot of early game planning. Both teams were very slow and methodical with where they wanted to go, figuring out what they wanted to do, and I think they did a really good job at it.
I think that's a really key thing in developing strategies and movements as a team, is taking your time to set up what you want to do, but then when you do it, execute it as quickly as you can.
Which is kind of what we saw there. EMP looked like they had an idea as to what they wanted to do a little bit quicker than Blackwatch did, because they kind of made an initial move. Let me get the maps right up here.
I was
Let's take a look
very
at it.
surprised by that Direwolf pushing to the domination point. I thought
was as
EMP
well.
was going to stay back for the whole fight.
It did look at the beginning there like both teams were going to kind of sit at the back, sit back near their spawns and kind of do some trades. But from the first match, you can kind of tell that both teams just want to get in there and start fighting each other. And from the first match, we really saw that. The second match is continuing to prove that point there, because even though they had a bit of time where they were, as I said, figuring out what decks each other were running, figuring out what kind of what the play was, what they wanted to do. As soon as they figured that out, they did kind of push into each other, and we saw like a little pseudo brawl situation going on, with the exception of course McGoat and Panic in their super long range mechs doing long range things.
Alright, both teams have 5 minutes from now to prepare. Pickle, would you like to roll our next map?
Let's wait until it's a little bit closer to the map, a little bit closer to the time limit.
Sure.
So let's go over that drop here on the map strat. So again, it was domination. At the beginning of the match, we had Jiffy put himself into this small little crevice. It's very difficult to see. Let me see if I can make that dot bigger.
We saw EMP set up their assault mechs here, and here. And this is a typical control position. You have up here, you had the Virago putting down ER large fire. Here you had a Warhawk. Here you had a Direwolf. And they outranged 228's deck by quite a bit. They had ER large and PPCs, whereas 228 had like mostly ATMs and DACA. But then from those positions that you're drawing there, what firepower Blackwatch did have they did a pretty good job engaging them. When you have like PPC mechs versus like an ER large mech, the PPCs can typically get not quite free trades, but near free trades if they do it correctly. And I think that may have been a factor in EMP's decision to move up.
That is true, because we did see an initial position from Blackwatch of about these 3 blue outlined circles. I'm trying to make them completely blue. I know how to use this map strat a lot less than Oblivion does. My apologies. So we kind of saw initial positions somewhere around those lines, and then the rest of Blackwatch was, we had Adam down here. Actually, I think Adam initially was up here in Castle area, near
Correct,
the window, and then he eventually did drop down when Bowser made a small push there in his direwolf.
It's funny because putting your maneuverable stuff here over by the alpha spawn and your chunky battle mechs over here, it kind of was almost like 228 was expecting what EMP did. The backline from 228 kind of did one of these once the engagement started, and the front line kind of did one of these and then backed off. It was interesting. It was they definitely received EMP's strategy quite well. I can't quite tell if that was something they were planning against, but it did look like they had a decent reaction time.
And EMP doing a push of the likes. We had Selith in that Piranha. I don't remember who was on the Wolfhound, my apologies, but they eventually made their way over.
That would be Magician.
Magician, he was in the Wolfhound there.
So Magician played over here quite a bit, and then Selith went over this way, which that is a very, very dangerous path for Selith to take for 228, not for Selith. Because if he can get some very easy mech booty from taking that little pass there, and if he had pulled that off, I think we would have seen a different game, definitely.
He was definitely fairly aggressive on Blackwatch's mechs in that little crevice, and I think had he had a little bit more backup, he could have done a better job. He wouldn't have been
has always been
focused
very
as hard
patient,
as he
very
was.
good at setting up traps against enemy assault mechs. He's always been really good at executing strategies like that. So I think it's something that unless Blackwatch looks out for actively, he's going to get him from time to time.
And he did that really, really well when it was just him, Panic Button, and Dom there. I'm going to clear the map here. Near the end of that fight, we had Magoat and the Hellbringer out this way. Out that way.
Yeah, he came in from here along this... Oh, no, that's... Don't listen to me. Bad Oblivion. Bad.
That's okay. It's hard for me to look at this map and understand.
He did one of these like this, whereas Panic and Dom came in from over here, and it was the 2v1's just very dangerous.
And Selith taking in that Piranha taking a little spot. I believe it was up around here. And,
Alright, Pickle, both teams are ready. We need you to select the map.
Okay, I will select the map. And the map will be... Where's my random generator? I lost the generator, Oblivion. I'm sorry.
Re-Google it. It's okay.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Haha. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, between 1 and 3. And the answer is 3.
3. Frozen City Night
Frozen
Classic.
City.
Did it go 1, 2, 3?
It went 1, 2, 3. I promise you it's not rigged. I clicked the big blue generate button.
Alright, so we are tied up here going to the final round. So this is the tiebreaker match. This drop 3 has shorter range maps like drop 1, but the maps are a lot cooler. They have a bit more terrain. Not a bit. They have a decent bit more terrain. So I think we might see either full brawls or mid-range strategies. I'm not too certain that we're going to see very many PPC Warhawks and the like here.
We might see a few PPC jump-capable mechs, such as the Summoner, the Huntsman. Might even see some Hunchback 2Cs.
Looks like... Let's look at what we have. Okay, we have... Oh, all right, I misspoke. So. Archon taking his legendary PPC Warhawk that he sticks to like glue.
Chimera doing the same, actually.
Dom and Panic Button, both in Incubus battle mechs. That's a mech that we haven't seen a ton of competitively, but I think it's going to make huge waves. I think we're definitely going to see that here. It looks like the two of them have heavy lasers on their Incubi. I think that could definitely be something that gets got.
Gets got.
Or
So
looks to get someone.
EMP
Make someone
currently
get got.
has the cap lead. Sigma and Epsilon are both capped by EMP. Blackwatch. Defunct in a Jagermech. What's the Jagermech build there, Oblivion?
Let's take a look at the Jagermech.
It's got a bunch
The
of
Jagermech is 5 AC2s.
5 AC2s.
So not quite the super glass cannon that we saw when the Jagermech first released that had literally no armor and 6 AC2s.
Panic Button
Panic Button and
just
Dom
took
dragging
out
down Bowser.
Bowser.
Like I said, those Incubi with the heavy large lasers can very, very quickly
Seleth
pick
did
up
not
booty.
like that. Look at him. Seleth is hard on Dom in the Incubus there.
EMP definitely reacting hard to the strategy here. The Warhawk checking its back, taking down UAVs.
I saw that about 2 seconds too late. Dom goes down, death by Celis.
Those
Magician
Incubi are
goes down to
not
help
good against
him.
the Piranha. The Piranha is definitely the better
Does Incubus
1v1
have
mech
the
here.
speed to get out of such a situation? I don't think it does. Panic Button trying to get some shots on Magoat and Chimera here. I don't think they know he's there. He takes a shot at Chimera.
12% off of Chimera, and Chimera
Heavy
has to
damage to
turn to
Chimera's back
Blackwatch's
there in
main
that
line.
Warhawk.
This
And
is
now
a
he's-
very dangerous position that
Panic
he's put
Button
him
is
in.
booking it out of there. He knows Magoat knows that he's there, and he's going to make sure he's getting it out of there.
A very good example of how light mechs can control the pace of the game. EMP is actually not doing a bad job recovering here. They're grouping up. They've got this nice like crescent moon shaped concave going on. They're reforming, trading against Blackwatch quite well. That AC2 Jaegermech is not going to be able to trade super effectively against the large amount of PPCs and mid to long range
unfortunately, we're
mechs.
seeing that right now. Defunct down to 85%, taking a bit of damage. Panic is now back to his team, but look at where Seleth is here in the Piranha here. He followed Panic.
Oh, all
He's
the way to the
all
tunnel,
the way
across the
inside
side of the
the
map.
tunnel.
Out for blood. Like I said, Selth a very patient light player. It's a
Jiffy
trait
does
that's
take
really
out
important
Chimera and
in
that
playing these
Warhawk.
light mechs.
The damage Panic put down on his back was unable to allow him to survive. Magician here, getting up with Chrisman. Chrisman's actually pushed up quite far here in this Mad Cat Bravo. Panic accidentally self-destructs. That's not good for
Ooh,
Blackwatch here.
When you bring that
Chrisman's
many
being
heavy lasers on a
very
mech that
aggressive
small,
on this
that may
side.
happen often.
2v1ing Magoat and Reckless. Reckless down to 54%. Arkard Adam Steiner in the Warhawk here pushing with him. But
Chrisman
look
looks
at EMP's
really roughed
lights.
up here.
EMP's
All of
lights
Blackwatch
are
here in
pushing
pretty rough
Defunct
shape.
and Jiffy. Unfortunately, Adam and Chrisman are not quite able to help. Looks like Defunct might go down here.
Yeah, that Wolfhound
This is a very
definitely
close
not
fight.
something that Jaegermech is meant to fight.
Magician being very careful. The Wolfhound is a very powerful light mech.
That
Seleth right
Seleth
here in
and
the
that
middle
Piranha,
of that Piranha.
that Piranha, even fresh, is always just a tap away from death. With all the pinpoint and high DPS mechs from Blackwatch, he could vanish in an instant. It's definitely gonna be very important for what that Piranha does.
So EMP
Magician
has definitely taken a withdrawal stance a little bit. Looks like they're attempting to. I'm not
Giffy
sure what they're
taken down by
attempting to do.
McGoat with the Vapor Eagle.
Archon Adam Steiner here is taking a lot of damage from Reckless.
Everyone's taking a lot of damage at this point, though.
Reckless
Defunct and
does
the
take out
Jaegermech also
Defunct.
goes down.
Seleth in the back with Chrisman here.
Archon
We
in
got
rough
two
shape, but he
1v1s
could
going
take
on
down
here.
this Summoner.
Archon versus Reckless.
Archon
Adam
takes down the
out
Summoner.
Reckless. Now
He's in
gonna
pretty
take
rough
on
shape, though.
Magoat.
This is not going to
Seleth
be a
and
good
Chrisman
engagement with
still
him with this
engaging
Vapor
each
Eagle.
other in the Piranha. Seleth is now taking out Adam here. Adam takes himself out. Nobody takes Adam out but Adam. And now it's 2v1 situation here between Chris. Looks like Chris might not have any weapons. He's just sitting there. Seleth does take him out.
A very strong early game from Blackwatch.
Very strong early game from Blackwatch, but Unfortunately, they
Oftentimes,
didn't
when you
have.
go all in on the early game, it can be hard to maintain that through
Yeah,
the mid game.
They didn't have the stamina to keep up the pressure, and EMP, even though they suffered some heavy losses there at the beginning of that match, they were actually able to recover fairly well.
They recovered, they
And,
regrouped, they formed a very nice arc, and they pushed the Incubi back off of their rear, and recovered extremely quickly. Something EMP has always been good at doing is very quickly reacting to what is thrown at them.
Magoat and that Vapor Eagle there, 731 damage. Good job. Adam
Definitely
there in
very
the Warhawk,
good.
426. And then Panic and Dom there in the Incubi. Dom only doing 53 damage, but that 53 damage was able to almost take out one of those mechs there.
When you do 53 exclusively to the rear CT of a battle mech, that is
That is
an
not a
okay
good
amount
day.
of damage.
That is not a good day for the mech receiving that damage. Alright, so EMP taking round 3. So what does that mean, Oblivion? What does that mean?
That means that EMP is won.
Oh boy.
In an extremely interesting drop 3. We came in neck and neck into the final round, and it was that was definitely an interesting game 3. A good bang to go out on for both teams.
Had I been about 5 seconds earlier on seeing where Panic and Dom were, we would have seen the death that we witnessed there. I don't remember who it was, but they died. I saw the blips of both Panic and Dom on the other side of an EMP's entire team, and I tried to get my camera over there, and like mid-flight, I saw the pop-up of the dead mech, and I was like, oof. So very, very good plays by Panic and Dom there, being super stealthy. Let's take a look at the map strat here, Oblivion. Let's see what we've got here. So Frozen City, that was the classic Frozen City Conquest. So we did see EMP, I believe, take where am I looking on the map here? They took Sigma and Epsi first. Blackwatch didn't really pay attention to the caps, but that wasn't what they were intending to do. They weren't really... I don't think their end goal was to outcap EMP. Judging by what they did at the start, I think their goal was to, get some really good shots downrange early on, take out the mechs they wanted to take out, just like how Dom did there. And what do you think, Oblivion? From what you saw, what do you think?
That game was solid surprises, is what I think. I didn't expect anything that happened to happen when it happened.
I'm inclined to agree. There was a lot of, wow, this is going on here, and there was a time in the middle there. I'm having a hard time looking at this map, trying to figure out where this is, but there was I think in the buildings, I think around here, Chrisman was pushing up. I think Chrisman was a little aggressive on that side there. We had Chrisman in his Madcat Bravo, Adam slightly behind him, Chrisman about here, Adam I think around there, and then Panic was I think there was a third mech. I think it was Panic.
By the way, Pickle, connect to the GP Discord whenever you're ready. We're
We got some
gonna
interviews?
set up the post-match interview. Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll do that. Do you want to talk about the map strat just a little bit more? Or do you want to just go right to the interviews?
Let's go to the interviews. We can talk about the games with the teams.
Okay, sure. Let's go to the interviews then. We've
just connect to anywhere in the GP Discord. I'll drag you into the channel. Actually, you should be able to. Can you see the super secret channel of super secrets?
Yeah, I can get into there. So we've got Bowser and Panic, team leaders for both Blackwatch and EMP, and we're gonna have an interview with them.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drag him in.
Sound muted.
All right.
All right, panic button.
Panic. Bowser, hello.
Hello.
So, how did you guys feel about the tournament? Did you have fun?
I had fun up until the third match.
Up until the third match?
I
Alright.
wonder why.
That's funny. I had a lot of fun during the first 30 seconds of the third match.
I have to say that was an amazing play by you there, Panic. I don't remember who got the kill, but that was an amazing play. I saw it about half a second too late, and I tried to get over there on the cast, and by the time I was halfway across the map, Bowser, you went down there, and that was very entertaining to watch.
I instantly died. Instantly.
That's what happens when you when you rectally insert like a dozen heavy lasers. Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk. Before we get into that, let's talk about game one. How do you guys feel about game one? Actually, sorry. Before I say that, let's ask you a more general question in terms of this specific rule set. In terms of this specific tournament, how did you guys feel about the matches? Did you enjoy them? Did you have fun? Panic, you go first.
Me go first about enjoying the matches and having. I think you know, whatever. It's our own tournament, and I've been looking at the rule set for a long time, so it's kind of cheating. But I will say that I felt that the rules about bringing in duplicate mechs was kind of entertaining. Although a little bit complex. You kind of have to sit there and do a little bit more math than you might for just building a normal deck. But a lot of these tournaments have obscure rules about heroes or different chassis or limitations on weight classes. So I thought the simplicity of just like, okay, well, if you're gonna take a duplicate mech, you're just gonna get a 10-ton penalty. That was kind of unique. Added a fun aspect of trying to figure out whether it was worth it or not to bring duplicates at that point. And a lot of times it really isn't. But it can be for fun, add some flavor. And I really appreciate the random map rolls. That's something that, like, I think since they abolished the 8v8 or 12v12 queue, after it was that whole thing was just a train wreck, and it took forever to find any matches, like hour and a half. The random the sort of nerves of going into a match not knowing what map you were going to have to play on. It's kind of been lost, so it's kind of neat to revisit that to a more controlled.
How do you think that the random maps affected deck construction for Blackwatch? Did it have a big impact? Did you just threw whatever in?
We just looked at the range profiles and it made something that generally worked. I don't know. What about you guys over there?
We literally didn't make decks till about 5 minutes before the match. Like, I just got home from school, Chimera just got on, so we were just like, oh, what's the best general stuff? Because, it's random map domination. What's the best general mechs? Annihilators, Sleipnir, Heroes Are Allowed, Piranha Cypher, that kind of stuff. Supernova, hey.
Yeah, the Cypher was an interesting choice. That's the one that's a 50-50 split on its hardpoints between ballistic energy, right?
Yeah.
It was an interesting. I thought the general consensus from public queue is that the laser one is usually generally better. What did you guys?
The Cypher is way stronger.
Cypher way better.
It only loses a couple energy hardpoints to the other piranhas, and in turn it gains the crit power of the machine guns. It's way stronger.
Great, yeah. That's not a mech we've really seen competitively before. The Cypher, the K9, not something that.
Yeah, it's good to
usually see in the cast.
It's good to see variety and variations.
Is that a K9 you guys hadn't dropped one?
Yes.
Excellent.
How do you guys think that the duplicate penalty for EMP, did that go into your deck construction a lot? Was that something that changed how you built things?
Hold up. There was a duplicate penalty?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what did it entail? I didn't even look at the rules. I've not looked at the rules at all.
There's a 10-ton penalty for each duplicate that you take.
So was it over the drops, or was it
per drop?
Did it affect us?
You guys
affect us?
I didn't see any illegal decks. I don't think you guys took any duplicates the whole night.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's pretty much your answer.
All right, great, awesome.
Okay.
I figured they would tailor more towards Worlds builds, and the Worlds, I think, or I guess the current idea is that it's gonna be no dupes. So.
Yeah, that's largely what we did. Like I said, we just took strong generalist mechs that we consider strong in that format, and then just applied them over to this.
Well,
Alright,
I guess
so-
having never dealt with it, how do you think a 10-ton penalty with duplicates would work out? Do you guys think
Uh,
you'll take duplicates with that?
I don't think so. No, I think with heroes, there's enough variety to where you can avoid that. Example: Sleipnir Annihilator, like we did on the first drop.
Yeah, the Sleipnir was definitely an interesting choice. I love that mech.
I also noticed the Hellbringer in the Tourmaline drop. Tell us what the decision was to bring that mech, because he did have some DACA from your Direwolf and stuff.
That is a mech we've always played in practices. It's just a strong mech, especially the Virago.
Fair
so
enough.
that's like I said, that's just a generalist pick that we practiced.
And having the ability to bring heroes has changed your decision-making process in terms of what mechs you can and cannot bring. Do you feel that you, both teams, Panic and Bowser, do you guys feel like you're more inclined or more willing to bring heroes now?
Absolutely, yeah. 100%.
Okay.
I like the fact that you can just bring a bunch of heroes, because in my opinion, what this game needs is more variety, not less, and all that does is make it more variety. So
Fair
that's
enough.
good.
That's totally
Yeah,
understandable. Panic, what do
that
you
was
think?
actually my next question, whether or not you guys thought that the heroes increased variety.
Absolutely, it's a positive
Okay.
with everything as it is.
How do you feel about that, Panic?
Yeah, I mean they give out enough MC to where I don't feel like the don't stop, but I don't I feel like there's not really a significant budget cap on this game anymore. It like for things like heroes, and if you're gonna add them to the mech pool, it really does give you better options. I think prior to the hero, I need to point out the one that they used. The Sleipnir is bar none the best like Cyclops variant on the field at the time at the current state of the game. So it does add that as like a viable option into the pool of mechs that you can select. So yeah, definitely. And the no limitation on heroes is really nice. Yeah, the ciphers are really strong light. We actually ran it like I think we one last put a lot of these decks together like yeah for just a brief internal on Tuesday, and that was one of the mechs that we tossed back and forth just because yeah it's you in your standard, for example, in your standard configuration with no hero ban, you can either run the machine gun Piranha, which excels only when your teammates are able to open things up, or you can run the laser Piranha, which operates better on its own, but it has its own problems of heat and sustained damage. The Cypher is just the best of both worlds. So it's really nice. Yeah, love that.
So we just talked about mechs. Let's talk about strats now. Between the three matches, any strats that Blackwatch or EMP didn't expect from the other team?
I can take a guess at that, but
Well, I want the teams to answer. So Bowser, we'll start with you for drop 1, drop 2, drop 3. Any strats that you guys didn't expect to see, or you kind of maybe anticipated Blackwatch might have taken and they took something slightly different?
Okay, so for Kenyon, I didn't anticipate they'd be so light. I anticipated it would be a very similar deck composition, if not identical. I didn't anticipate only one assault with the Night Cheer. Highly uneven fight, in my honest opinion. Drop 2? No, nothing out of the ordinary. I think it was the same deck as drop 1, wasn't it? Pretty much identical.
I believe
Almost.
it was, yeah.
Almost. There was a Vapor Eagle. There was a UAC2 Vapor Eagle instead of an ATM Vapor Eagle. That was the only difference.
And I think their Blackjack switched from Brawl to PPCs, but you didn't really see the Blackjack game 1 since he disconnected.
It was PPCs in game 1 and game 2.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was the same thing. And then drop 3, I didn't expect any one shot, so I'm gonna just put that out there. But it is funny though because they did that to me once before in what was it?
It was more 8.
It was more, yes it was, and I was in a dragon and Grim Plexus, and they instantly torsoed me for 30 damage.
And Panic? Any strats that you guys didn't expect to see?
The game 1 corner push was kind of entertaining. I think we had everyone we pulled Chris and Defunct out of retirement and put them back on the field, and we were like trying to get our feet on the ground and drop 1 and notice like, oh, there's a summoner moving over to the corner, like, oh god, they're all there. So and usually like I don't know, I think EMP is really flexible. They take a lot of different strategies. It's just on yeah, even if you guys aren't like picking out specific decks or doing as much prep, there's still a definite, like, you guys do gel as a team very well, and usually have a definite idea, it looks like, at least, about how to play the game, or at least you arrive at one fairly quickly. So that was sort of a little unexpected, although, you know, it is what it is. We just weren't able to react fast enough. It was well played. You guys are always tough to play against.
Cool. Now we've got one last question here, and this kind of ties into what we were talking about previously in terms of deck construction. But of the current rule set for our tournament here, what rules do you guys think most influenced your deck construction for tonight's tournament? Panic, we'll start with you this time. So what rules inside the tournament do you think?
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I think just flat out the tonnage limit is usually the guiding factor for, like, what you're gonna want to invest in. I mean, that, like, the last deck, we were just mentioning that afterwards, like, oh, you know, probably taking the 10-ton penalty to duplicate the Incubus wasn't really worth it. When we have the Cypher on the table, we could have done Incubus Cypher and pretty much accomplished the same thing with a little bit more sustain afterwards. But we did it for the memes. But I mean, like, I think that just the tonnage limitation is usually the driving factor there. That's what I'll say.
How do you think the tonnage average is a little higher than usual at 60 tons per mech? How do you think that changes the game versus the usual, like, 50-ish that we see? Do you think it has a big impact?
Probably just punishes people more for sinking a lot of tonnage into. Well, actually, no. It probably lets people sink more tonnage into heavier stuff a little, as long as you don't drop under tonned. The problem with some of those lighter weight drops on, like, some of the lighter weight drops that we've played in, if you took a heavier mech like an Annihilator or a Sleipnir, you would end up really strapped for tonnage on the low end. And not only does this tournament sort of have that little bit higher average, it also has the added benefit of adding some of those functional heroes to the game, to where you open up a few more options in the light spectrum in order to offset that problem that some of the other configurations have had.
All right, well, great. How do you feel about this, Bowser?
I think the tonnage is too high. I think the fact that we can bring, like, 2 assaults in addition to, like, a heavy, medium, whatever, in a 6v6, I think that's too much. But if the stated goal is, like, to have really fast matches, then that works. That's how you do it. So,
yeah, the idea is to make the games quick and dirty.
I think 2 incubi is cancer.
Well, why do you say that?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, we didn't win, so I mean, there.
Honestly, dude, I don't know how. Like, you guys pretty much killed Chimera super quickly, and you literally killed me for 0 damage. So, like, I'm not even entirely sure. But anyways, what? You should have heard us in drop 1. We didn't even realize it was domination. I shit you not. We didn't realize it was domination until 20 seconds on the clock. We went around the whole left side. That's why the clock got to, like, 20 seconds or whatever the fuck it was. So I was like, guys, it's fucking domination. Get in the circle now. And I shot the generator, and then the Urban Mech, he gave his life, bless him, to get us the circle. And then at that point, it was fine. But, like, we didn't realize it was domination.
Surprise raid boss saving the day.
That explains why that strat was unexpected. It was just completely.
Yeah. We didn't even plan for it. We didn't plan for domination at all.
You guys didn't expect your own strategy. How was I supposed to predict it?
All right. Well, both all 3 matches were very entertaining to watch and to cast, and I hope you guys enjoyed playing them. Again, thank you both Blackwatch and the Emp for taking part in this exhibition match, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the tournament. Thank you for taking the time out of your days to participate here.
Yeah.
Honestly, we didn't take much time, but thank you for casting.
Glad you guys are here nonetheless.
That's the point.
Yeah. All right. So, yep. Oblivion, I think you and I are gonna hop out of here and give some closing remarks, and then that's gonna be it.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Bowser, Panic. Once again, thank you guys for taking the time to do this interview and playing the matches, and
thank you for casting.
We'll see you the next time. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah,
GG's indeed. All right.
Sound resumed.
Okay. So that was entertaining.
was a very interesting set of games, and
Yeah.
the seat of the pants style of drop one, definitely that definitely explains a lot.
It does, yeah. 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 All right.
I think those games. I mean, they felt. I felt like I had no idea what was happening next. I've been playing this game for such a long time that I did not think I was going to feel that way again anytime soon. That was that was pretty good.
That's
I
true.
loved it.
Now that I think about it, there were a lot of unexpected moments. Drop 2 was a little bit more predictable. We saw a little bit more
A little
of
bit, but that
structured.
direwolf push was, for me, felt really unexpected.
That was definitely interesting. He didn't have backup with his little piranha friend, but yeah, that was definitely an interesting
And that
situation.
ATM mech getting like 300 meters above the fight, but still being in like the heart of it, just like raining missiles down like it was a 300 movie.
Yeah, definitely a good
That
job
was
by
pretty cool.
Dom there. All right, so guys and gals in chat on Twitch, thank you all. Of course, once again, Blackwatch, EMP, thank you to teams for participating in this exhibition tournament. The matches between the teams that have signed up for the 228th Summer Grand Prix will be live on this Twitch channel tomorrow around the same time it went live tonight and Saturday, and then the rest of the matches will be taking place next Friday and Saturday. So, Oblivion, if we want to close off with talking a little bit about that.
Yeah, if for everybody watching, if you guys saw this and you'd like to play, you can find us on Reddit. You can find us in the MWO official forums. You can find us on the MWO Comp Discord. We have a challenge page for sign-ups. You have until the end of tonight. And it's going to be tons of mech action. It's going to be super fun. You will not regret it.
It is going to be fairly interesting as well. A very unique rule set, and I think it's going to show for some very interesting matches. And I'm looking forward to watching them. I'm looking forward to cast them.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so Oblivion and I are going to hop off here. Once again, thank you all for watching, and
I hope everyone enjoyed the games.
hope you all enjoyed the awesome action, mech on mech action, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys and gals. Enjoy your afternoon.